All right, y'all. We are coming live from 4 different locations for social distancing, but we figured we're getting asked a lot of questions on how the buying and selling experience is going right now with this coronavirus going around, and catching some flack for still being out and about. But at the end of the day, I just kind of want to share what's going on, kind of let people hear from our mouths of what's happening and how we're being safe, how we're being healthy, and how we're servicing clients, because it's not just we're out there trying to make a dollar right now. We're actually out there just trying to close the houses that are under contract. And also we have some buyers and sellers still using the market. So since we can't talk at once, Brad, what are you seeing out there? Have you been out there showing? How have buyers been reacting? What's going on?
Yeah, well, it's actually, it's kind of business as usual. It's business as usual, except with extra precautions. So have hand sanitizer and disinfecting wipes with me, staying our distance. But I'm still having a lot of buyers come in saying they want to see houses. I have listings that still want to go on the market. It's still business as usual, especially with the low interest rates. It's still going great right now.
Okay. Cole, what about you?
Yeah, Brad, I would agree with Brad Ledford in that things are pretty normal. I would say probably shown about 15 houses this week, probably about 4 or 5 different buyer clients. I think most part everyone's still pretty confident in the market. I think they have the expectation that things are going to calm down in a couple weeks, and so with the house buying process, buyers should expect about a 90-day process from start to finish. And considering these viruses and pandemics tend to last a month or so, I wouldn't be too worried about, buyers looking to the future and closing their houses at the end of the spring and still seeing that there's some inventory out there right now.
Gotcha. Amy, you hear anything different, or is it all the same?
I think it's all the same. I have been showing houses as well in different areas of the upstate in Anderson County, Pickens County, Greenville County. Clients, as well as trying to do all the back end stuff, writing repair procedure, getting appointments set for termite inspections, as well as home inspections.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I think it's still pretty important to note that
dogs are still
I think it's still pretty important to note that we are taking precautions. So it's not just like we're flying in someone's house, coughing all over the place and leaving. Like,
right.
We still have hand sanitizer, disinfect doorknobs or whatever before and after. So things like that, if you take the necessary precautions, I mean, you can still go out there. It's not like if you go outside, you're immediately going to get coronavirus.
So have y'all had brand new buyers come out of the woodwork since this has started going, hey, I want to go see some houses now?
Yeah. I mean, I have, especially because they have more time on their hands because they're quarantined.
Yeah.
I have as well. I've had one client call and say that they wanted to go see houses. I just kind of advise them not to bring their kids with them. It would be better just smaller groups. So just the husband and the wife. And we went to go see houses. And one day I just took the wife to see homes as well.
Yeah. So one thing, so I've been watching obviously the news, which is kind of depressing and infuriating, but also informative. And then doing a lot of studying as well with NAR, National Association of Realtors, putting a lot of stuff out, South Carolina Association. And, they're kind of saying the difference between this recession and the last one, obviously the last one we created with the housing bubble. We had 8 months of inventory with people that already couldn't afford houses, strapped to the gills, not proving their income. And then, we kind of made our own demise with this one. And just like, we're not saying we're in a recession yet, but if we go into a recession, which is big talk right now, which, let's be honest, if we don't go into recession with this, then shit, like, I don't know what's going to put us there. But at the end of the day, this one, we have like 3 months of inventory nationally, and the supply and demand is just there. I mean, it's just, there's lack of supply. So interest rates are low. Now they're all over the place. So when we say interest rates are good, if you check it right now, it could be 5%, it could be 3%. They're all over the place. But we're seeing people take advantage of it. And we're seeing that even though this virus is a problem, and so is a recession, as soon as we get this virus under control, if it goes and stays longer as a recession, housing actually does better in recessions. Housing prices tend to climb, interest rates tend to go down. So I think the immediate problem is the pandemic, which we need to be careful of. Let me ask you a question, and this is a loaded question, and you're never supposed to ask questions you don't know the answer to, but I'm dumb enough to do it. So y'all been catching hell from friends, from other millennials, from old people for being out and about and not, snuggled up on the couch with your loved ones watching Netflix all day?
I haven't.
No.
Go ahead, Brad Ledford.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't either. I think if you take the necessary precautions, I mean, you can't just act like it's not a thing, because it's definitely serious. But if you take the precautions, I mean, you can get by. I mean, business as usual. We got to still keep the economy going with the real estate market. So, no, not really.
Yeah, good. Cole, you? I know Amy said no.
Yeah, nothing with clients. I've had some concerns from neighbors and friends. But I've only had one potential client, not a current client, who wants to wait a few more months.
Yeah.
Understandably so, which doesn't set me back. But I think that's a good personal decision, and I think that there are pros and cons either way.
Yeah, like a
absolutely.
listing where it's one of the demographics that's more at risk, and they want to take a couple months, which is that's understandable. I mean, completely understandable. Yeah. So things like that.
Yeah. So let's flip gears a little bit onto listings. I know we've got several coming up. Me personally, I'll be listing my house as soon as I can get one of these little hurdles out of the way that I'm waiting on. And my sister's getting ready to list. And what are y'all hearing from sellers, either currently on the market? Like, are they asking for extra precautions? Are sellers waiting, or what's going on with sellers?
Yep. I can answer that first. Brad, I was looking at statistics on, how much inventory has changed over the past couple weeks. Yeah. We've had a little bit of a drop in inventory, but to be honest, I think that's a good thing for sellers because there's less competition, and the buyer pool is still large, especially in Greenville. I don't know how it is in Columbia, but in Greenville, the buyer pool is still large, and with rates having had huge drops a few weeks ago, I think there's more buyers out there. And so with even less inventory actually this past week, it actually makes it a really good thing for sellers. I've had a few buyers who missed out on some homes because of competition, and there's nothing that they could control with it. But I think it's actually still very much a strong seller's market, at least what I've been noticing with the buyers that are having a difficult time, and then the sellers who are easily getting what they want for their house.
Yeah, absolutely. How about y'all, the other two?
I agree. My sellers just want to sell. They put it on the market to sell, and they haven't said anything else about it. And we're still showing those houses, and I'm getting to list one the beginning of next week. So I think that's staying consistent as well.
Yeah, I have, like I said, the one, and then I have two other ones that are going on next Friday. So if the buyers are still there, if there's necessary precautions, I mean, I think we should take those, especially as the sellers, just to cancel out any obligations. But
yeah, and I think there's some things that we can do, and sellers need to know that we're doing it. We've got gloves, we can provide booties, disinfectant wipes. A lot of people aren't touching stuff. So some of the good stuff that we're telling sellers right now is, if you feel like it, if the pollen's not going to invade your house, open the windows and doors, leave them open, turn on all your light switches yourself, leave all doors open that you can. Buyers really shouldn't be looking in cabinets and drawers anyways. We don't really allow that. I mean, that's kind of personal property. And then, I'm more than happy to come through after a showing, and hopefully my attorneys aren't going to slap me for too much liability, but wipe down door handles and stuff that could possibly have been touched. I think another thing we're doing marketing wise that's good for buyers and sellers is we do Matterport. We do a 3D virtual reality on every single listing where we go in and y'all know this. We scan them all like a dollhouse. And so we actually had one last night in our Columbia office going to contract sight unseen. Our buyer's out of town. He's like, screw it. I like it. It looks good. They got a Matterport. Let's move on. So they don't actually have to come inside right now. They're going to have to for inspections and everything else, but we can also put some of those caveats there, just saying, hey, don't come inside until you make an offer, which is extreme. It'll be a little different, but it can happen. It can definitely happen.
Brad Ledford,
there you go.
Didn't you just sell a house to somebody in California who didn't even come look at the house?
Yeah, well, they were in California. They just saw the pictures, they saw what they liked, and they went ahead and did it. So same thing, Matterport, even better.
What's up, Gray?
Hey, Gray.
What's up, buddy? You're shyer than your mom. I wouldn't have thought that. What else do buyers and sellers need to know right now? Like, what do you want to share with the public? Because there's a lot of misinformation going on. There's a lot of people saying, if they're watching Facebook, which they are, and people are like, oh, we are an essential service. We aren't. And I guess the one thing I'll say to my own question is, yeah, sure, people are coming out wanting to buy and sell houses. And yes, unfortunately or fortunately, we're only paid on deals we close. And if they close down this government and everybody has to sequester, that is what we will do. And that's what we will have to do. And we'll do our part. But we don't get paychecks. And so we're providing for our families and we're helping people with their biggest investments. A lot of times we're just closing out what's already on the books. We're 90 days out. So we're good for the next 60 days as long as everything stays open. But do y'all feel like, you're doing a disservice to yourselves or the world if you're out showing and selling?
I don't. I feel like I said, if you take the precautions, then, that's all you can do. Keep the world rolling with real estate.
Yeah. I think people need places to live. I think it's just as important as other needs in life, such as food, water, and community. And so I think whether it's renting or buying or selling, I'm here and available. I think all of us are available for just giving our advice and thoughts, whether not trying to sell you. We're not in that business.
Right.
We're in the business of advising people. And so one thing I would tell people that I've noticed is that rates are fluctuating day to day, even from morning to afternoon. So I would just say, be in touch with your lender. I was talking with a lender earlier today that a 1% change in your rate, so from going from 4% to 5%, changes your purchasing power by $30,000. So the same house that you'd be buying at $230 would be the same as you say if you bought a $230,000 house at 4%, you'd be buying a $200,000 house at 5% for the same cost, same monthly mortgage. So just be in mind with that. I do think rates will continue to level out and potentially drop again in the coming months as we get out of this virus.
Yeah, I will say
I agree.
Oh, go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
Oh, no. It's business as usual around here. I'm not at the office as much. I'm at home because my kids are home from school. However, I have babysitters and friends on hand that are willing to watch my kids. I can go out and show and do listing appointments. So that's the only thing that's different for me, but it's still business as usual.
Yeah.
I've seen, I think 97 new houses came on the market today. That's a ton. So, if you're at home and you're quarantined, rates are still, I think they're going to come back down. It's still a great time. You still have a lot of time to see houses, and 97 new ones came on today. So obviously sellers aren't pushing back and moving those to a different time of the year. So, with the low inventory, if you see something you like, it's a great time.
Yeah, I think one thing I'll offer to sellers and buyer, actually, let's talk sellers real quick. But if you're maybe not in the market, like obviously you're at home, you got kids, family, dogs, whatever, and you're not ready to put it on the market today. You want to see how the world, levels out the next couple of weeks, which it's questionable, right? But we have the ability, and we're willing to, because we have time as well, without doing any personal touching. I mean, personal interaction, definitely no touching. But with that being said, to have sellers, potential sellers, like look at your house and go, I wonder what this would be like to sell. I wonder how much I could get. Because I do think there's going to be pent up demand. Because I think, yes, 97 houses came on today. It probably would be more around 120, 130 this time of the year without all the crud going on. So with that being said, take a video walkthrough of your house if you want to, or take a buttload of pictures. DM us, like actually first, just DM us on whatever platform you're watching. We'll get you hooked up, and then we'll give you a link to upload them to us. We'll look them up. We'll do a virtual CMA with you that we'll be able to say, here's what we think your house would be worth. And that's in today's climate, because I think one of the cooler things we can be doing right now is preparing for when the market gets back to normal. So if you're thinking about buying and selling your house, hey, we got a good pause button. We got a good reset button right now. And let's take our time. And, we can do these Zoom calls and these Google Hangouts with no personal interaction. We're not saying list it today. But what if we were ready? What if we were ready when the market came back around and we said, let's go, let's drop it, let's sell the house? Because I think it's going to happen. I think the pent up demand is going to flood the market with listings for a minute, which is going to be good and it's going to be bad. But I think we can talk you through it and kind of see what's going to be best for you. And maybe you get our price and you're like, nah, I don't want to sell it. But I think it's something we could be doing to be a little more proactive right now. Do y'all have any other ideas or suggestions for buyers or sellers right now, other than getting out and looking and just kind of, I don't know, getting prepared if they're thinking about it? Put you on the spot.
I mean, that's a great idea. Preparing for the future while you're here.
Yeah.
I like it.
I know. I usually have all the good ideas in this little computer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, thanks for jumping on here and sharing. I think it's really important that we continue to tell our consumers, our friends, our family, what is going on, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it. We're not out there trying to save the world. We're just trying to help people that are either under contract, trying to close things out, or honestly trying to build wealth. And I don't think they're taking advantage of any situation. I think they're just taking the time and being methodical about buying houses right now. So I will say this to anybody out there watching: if you are looking about buying or selling, reach out to us. You can pick your agent if you want, Brad, Cole, or Amy. Vanessa is standing by. She's our inside sales agent. She is there to get you to the right person. And we would love the opportunity to at least have the discussion with you and just see if it's a good fit. And we'll go from there. So thanks, y'all. Appreciate you. Stay safe. Wash your hands.
Thanks, Brad. Bye.
Bye, y'all.